Paul Harris, Colorado Street. Please silence your phones. Providing indications that Kelly Hutchinson, Executive Director of Development Salvation Army Club.
Dear gracious God, we gather together in the spirit of fellowship and service. Please guide and direct our club, our leaders, and our actions. Help us to care for one another and work together so that we may do your bidding on earth. We seek your blessings for the meeting today and give thanks to our speaker. Thank you for the compassion he shares for thousands of area children and families. In your service, amen.
Thanks, Kelly. Providing our leading us before we test and the pledge is Claire Arnold, Director of Outreach and Partnerships at Kentucky Manufacturing Extension Partnership. So that's a long title. She's a club director, chair of the district global grant scholars, and co-chair of the Leadership Fellows Committee.
Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you also join me in our pledge, our four-way test? It is the truth, it is fair to all concerned, will it build goodwill and better friendships, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Time for guests now. Rotarians, please introduce yourself first, then your guests, give me the name of their organization, and guests, please stand when you're introduced. Back there is where the mic is to introduce your guests. Kevin, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, President Kevin. Good afternoon, Rotary, Kevin Field, Club Director and Chair of the Club DEI Committee. I'm pleased to introduce my guest today, who is Erin McGahee. Erin is a veteran of the United States Air Force. She's also the founder and CEO of Rhinox Research Group, which is a gun safety training organization. His business is in high demand. I'm pleased to announce that he's also a tenant of our Oklahoma Plaza Business Incubator. So thank you, Erin.
Good afternoon, President Kevin, Rotary. I'm Dunn, Advertising Director with Louisville Business First. And my guest is Christine Sissel, who has been with Business First for 30 plus years. She's a senior account executive. She works with a lot of nonprofits, tourism, hotels, lots of different businesses, and does a fantastic job for us.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I am Louis Straub, President of Independence Bank. Before I introduce my guest, I want to say thank you to all Rotarians that helped support Officer Will and the fund that was set up to take care of him and his family. So thank you all. My guest today is Ron Jolly, a Senior Vice President with Independence Bank. He is in charge of our branch and consumer network and commercial lender, and we're always happy to serve any of you all. Thanks.
Hello everybody, my name is Courtney Evans. I'm the Director of Advancement at Jewish Family and Career Services, and today my guest is Jim Mahane. He's the Marketing Manager at Jewish Family and Career Services, and so he's tasked with getting the word out about what Jewish Family and Career Services does so that we're not the best kept secret.
President Kevin, I'm Jean West, past president of the club. And
One of the best.
before I introduce my guest, I want to say to the club, I did attend a Sean Tribune's son's visitation, and I wanted to share that her husband and her son both thanked Rotary tremendously for what we've done for her and her history. So I just wanted to pass that along. My guest is Judge Tim Feely, retired family court judge, former state representative in the state of Kentucky, and my former boss in the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. The best boss in the bought us all front row tickets to the Happy Together tour of the state fair one year.
Good afternoon. My name is Ken Whalen with Whalen Ventures, and my guest is my friend Shane Raymond, the president of Foreseeable Strategy Consulting. Thank you.
President Kevin, I'm Julie James, and it's my pleasure to introduce my guest, my husband, Steve James. He is workforce development specialist with Summerworks.
Hello, President Kevin and fellow Rotarians. I'm Barbara Jameson, CEO of Kentucky Opera. It is my pleasure to welcome our Director of Advancement, Jocelyn Hankins. It's her first Rotary meeting and visit ever, and she helps us advance our mission of sparking joy, discovery, and connection throughout the whole Commonwealth.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. My name is Adam Fields. I'm Assistant Director of Major Gifts and Plan Giving and Healthcare. My guest today is a former Rotarian. She was a guest walking in, and she is now our newest member, and that took all of about 5 minutes from walking in the door. Chief Development Officer, Assistant Vice President for Healthcare, Lenny Myers.
All right, I will bring up the rear. President Kevin, my name is Delene Taylor, Executive Director of the club, and I have several guests to recognize today. Sherry Bauman is here with Catholic Charity. She's the Development Director. Anne Marie Word, Marie is the U of L MBA Director, I believe. Welcome back. Is Michelle Shelton here today? Okay. Chase Champlin is New York Life Financial Services Representative. Welcome back. Richard Ellinger, did I say that right? Is Richard here? All right, hopefully he'll join us in another meeting. And we have 3 people from Truist today. John Thurman, who is the Market President. Anthony Thompson, who is the Senior Vice President. And Charlie Mercer, who is an Institutional Advisor, Foundation, and Endowment Specialty Practice.
We have a lot of guests today, and usually that's attributable to the speaker, so I want to thank Barry Dunn for all these people in the room. Also, guests, immediately after the meeting, go to the table in the corner there where it says, "What is Rotary?" to learn a little more about our club. And also, the person there is Craig Sherman, who's I think he's the only one in the room today with a pink sports coat. If anybody else has a pink sports coat, I'm leaving you out, I apologize. It's right over in the corner immediately after the meeting. We have some Rotarians in the spotlight this week. Congratulations to Rotarian Robert Fink and U of L Health on the opening of a new full-service pharmacy in South Louisville. And congratulations to 2 members of GLI's Investor Development Team, Jordan Clemens and Brian Schlager, for being recognized in the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives Lifetime Sales Achievement Award. That's a big deal. Congratulations to these Rotarians whose organization has been recognized as one of the best places to work in 2023. All these companies listed up here. They're all recognized as one of the best places to work. I'd like to introduce or invite Jane Mallory, Executive VP, Marketing and Business Development at ImageQuest, Club Director, Co-Chair of the Membership Development and Engagement Committee, and Paul Harris Fellow to welcome some new members.
Good afternoon. Would John Rickert and Barry Severs please come up and join me? So fellow Rotarians, it is our duty at our Rotary Club to have new members from time to time, so we not only increase our usefulness and influence at the club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout the community. Today is my honor to formally welcome 2 new members. John and Barry, you have been elected to membership of this club because we believe you to be worthy representation, a representative of your calling and to possess qualities that will commit you to exemplify in your public, business, social, and private life the true spirit of Rotary. You've been admitted not only to the Rotary Club of Louisville, but to a worldwide organization of over 46,000 clubs, and the 14th largest in the world, by the way, right? Yeah, there we go. And by virtue of your membership in the club, Club, you will be welcomed into fellowship of any Rotary Club in the world. Rotary membership adds value to those who engage, whether by attending meetings or events, participating in service projects, or sharing your knowledge and talents as we carry out the principles of Rotary in the community. I now formally induct you as a member of the Rotary Club of Louisville and present you with your badge. So we'll start with John. So John started as a loan officer 15 years ago in February of 2008. Since then, he and his teams have closed almost $500 million of home loans, with the majority of that going to Louisville natives. John is married with 2 dogs. He likes to spend his time working on housing initiatives around Louisville or being out on his boat. Like that. Let's talk. All right. Join me in welcoming John to our club. And Barry Sears. Barry works at Ross Brown Todd in Louisville as a litigation support practice specialist, and he's been at the firm for 19 years. Barry is founder and president of Lori Kessery Children's Foundation, supporting 35 children in Western Uganda through sponsors who provide funds for school fees, uniforms, supplies, and a meal at school each day. Barry is senior elder at New Beginnings non-denominational church in New Albany, and has served in that role since 2014. Barry is married to Denise Sears. And Denise is the current Rotary Club Director and Vice Chair of the Community Impact Committee. So join me in welcoming Barry to our club.
It's always have a great team member, great new leaders coming to our club. And by the way, Jay, I'm glad you read that correctly as married with 2 dogs. I'd like to invite Ken Salvaggi, General Manager of ESPN Louisville, sustaining member of Paul Harris Fellow Plus 2, to the podium to introduce today's speaker.
Good afternoon, everybody. Barry Dunn is the President and CEO of Kosair for Kids, leading the region's most comprehensive children's nonprofit. It was just honored this week by Business First as one of the best places to work in Greater Louisville. Kosair for Kids celebrates an impressive 100th anniversary this year of helping Kentuckiana children live life to the fullest. And Barry certainly loves to share how they can help. And he has been amazing in helping, I'll tell you that. Barry worked as an attorney in private practice and government before coming to Kosair for Kids, including serving as Kentucky's Deputy Attorney General. He and his wife Leslie are proud parents of Ethan, Connor, and Holden. They moonlight as taxi drivers, taking their children to whatever sports or activity they have on a given day. Barry's a member of Southeast Christian Church, and he fancies himself as the best youth baseball third base coach in America. Barry Dunn, welcome.
Well, I'm not going to dare touch that microphone after Ken's experience there. Thank you, Ken, for that introduction. I do want to take a second and recognize some folks who are really important to Kosair for Kids and all the great work that we do. And those are members of our advisory council who are Rotarians here with us today. Ken, of course, who was kind enough to introduce me. We also have Craig Sherman, who everybody knows, Pink Coat Craig, really, I guess is his name. Matt McClure, who's been with us for so long at Kosair for Kids, and thank him for everything he does. We've got Denise Sears up front here, who runs a wonderful organization of her own, and SOS. And then I also want to mention Gene West, who is a former advisory council member. So the reach is far and wide, and thank you all for everything that you do. I want to start off by telling you about Tommy. Tommy was a 12-year-old boy from Pineville, Kentucky, who in 1922 was brought to Louisville at the direction of Kosair Shriners. Tommy had been paralyzed since birth, had never been able to walk, and of course was told that he would never walk. As Kosair Shrine Center, one of the shrine centers in the world, had been around for roughly 30, 40 years at that point, it had decided that life was about more than just a social club, a fraternal club. It was time to do a little more. And that little more was going to be venturing out into children's healthcare. And Tommy was going to be the test case. So in 1922, a Sunday school teacher who had ventured out to eastern Kentucky in search of a child to bring to Louisville found Tommy, whose mother had passed away and whose father, coal miner, was not very much in favor of parting with his child and sending him to Louisville for treatment. But eventually he was convinced, and over the course of about a 1-year period, Tommy, with surgeries that were performed here in Louisville, and with therapy and help that was provided by some Kosair Shrine members, including our own Dr. William Barnes at Owen, got to a point where he could walk. And so in August of 1923, at a grand party at Kosair Shrine Center, Tommy was unveiled to the world as the test case for what Kosair could do. That night, Tommy stood up and with braces on his legs, took his first steps across the stage. And as you read in the Courier Journal article that appeared the next day, there wasn't a dry eye in the place. Dare I say that 100 years later, there's still a lot of moments that Kosair for Kids is part of where there's no dry eye left in place. And that's why it's my great honor and privilege to stand before you today and tell you who we are, what we do, and what we're capable of doing in the future. First of all, Kosair Charities is now Kosair for Kids. For 100 years, we've been known as Kosair Charities. We built and operated a hospital called Kosair Crippled Children Hospital that opened its doors in May of 1926 and lasted all the way until April of 1981. But as we approached our 100th year, there was this question in front of us. Do people know exactly what it is that we do? And as we thought about it, there were a few things staring us right in the face. Kosair Charities, great name. The word Kosair has a lot of goodwill built up in the community, of course. But it doesn't say exactly what you do. It's a charity, great. But what does it do? For years, Kosair Shriners, Kosair Charities have stood up and said, we're for kids, we're about kids, we love kids. But we realized it was about time that our name reflected it. So when I was asked, do I have any slides that I want to share, part of my job this year is to make sure people understand the name and the brand and what we do. And so I said, there's one slide that I want to share, and it's that. So if nothing else, over the next 15, 20 minutes or so, you've got to look at the new name, Kosair Charities. Is now Kosair for Kids. All right. So who are we today? Well, I mentioned that from 1926 until 1981, we were fortunate enough to operate the Kosair Crippled Children Hospital on Eastern Parkway. As healthcare changed in the 70s and into the early 80s, it was no longer feasible for us to operate that hospital on Eastern Parkway where our offices are located today. And so we did partner with Dunn to build a new hospital downtown. We were a primary funder. And from 1981 to 2016, of course, the Kosair name was on the hospital. 2016, Kosair Charities, now Kosair for Kids, and working parted ways. And of course, there's Louisville Children's Hospital today. But one of the things that I always try to let folks know is there is a difference. There is a separation. Kosair for Kids is not the hospital. It's not affiliated with the hospital. But we do a lot of great work at our own. What is that great work? Well, we divide it in 4 major programmatic areas. The first, and if you don't hear anything else that I say today, please hear this part. Our first area is our Kosair Kids Financial Assistance Program. Each year, we pay medical bills, medical equipment costs, therapy costs, dental costs, the cost for hearing aids, whatever it may be, for children throughout Kentucky and into 10 southern Indiana counties. That is our favorite program. And this year, we're going to spend probably more money than we ever have before on paying those medical bills. And so I ask you, just take with you today, if you know a child and his family has been denied the insurance and who needs medical care that they can't afford, I want to be your first call. We want to pay those bills. We want to take a look at that. a wonderful grants program at Kosair for Kids. Every June, we have the good fortune and blessing to partner with great organizations, some of whom are represented in this room today, to really reach out into the state in addition to our own community here and help kids. Our statistics show that each year our grants reach approximately 200,000 children throughout Kentucky and into southern Indiana. That's a reach, and that's one that we're really proud of. This year we awarded grants to 98 organizations that are going to help children in Kentucky and southern Indiana. It's everything from Down syndrome of Louisville that has the best facility of its kind for children with Down syndrome in the country. It's Green Hill Therapy, Kids Center for Pediatric Therapies. It's the Pediatric Rural Recovery Program, Aphasia Rehab. It's a lot of stuff. It's Zoom Group that's doing some great work that Melissa's in charge of, reaching out into the state and helping children with disabilities learn better through the use of virtual reality. It's a lot of really cool stuff, and we're blessed to be able to do it. Third programmatic area, face it, 10 years ago, we realized that child abuse and neglect was an epidemic in Kentucky. It had been for some time. But we have come tired of year after year leading the nation in the raise of child abuse and neglect. It wasn't a one-time thing. Almost each year when the child maltreatment report came out, it would show that Kentucky was at or near the top in the nation. And we were tired of it. So with 9 partners called together at Kosair for Kids in 2013, we launched a Face It movement in child abuse and neglect. And we've made some progress, but we're not satisfied. Over the last 10 years, Kentucky's gone from leading the nation in the rates of child abuse and neglect to 6th in the most recent report. But folks, the most recent report shows that 14,963 children were abused or neglected in Kentucky in 2021. And I hope that makes you mad. I know it does me. But I want to ask you a question. Are you mad enough to do something about it? Are you mad enough to go home and to learn the signs of child abuse? The 10-4 bruising rule? Are you mad enough to go home? Let me challenge you with something. Folks don't always realize, but one of the number one causes of ER visits among children is the ingestion of harmful substances, often medication, that's left out. Are you mad enough to go home tonight and make sure your medication is put out of reach of children, locked up somewhere? Are you mad enough to know that you're a mandated reporter if you suspect child abuse and neglect in Kentucky? You're a mandated reporter. Are you mad enough to learn the number to call if you suspect child abuse and neglect? I hope so, because this is an epidemic we're going to conquer. Barry Allen is doing some great work through an initiative called Bloom, and there's a big group of partners, big foundations and companies who are getting behind the movement in child abuse and neglect in Kentucky. We're proud of our work through Face It with Kentucky Youth Advocates, and we're going to continue that. Our fourth programmatic area that I want to mention are Kosair Kid experiences. And man, did we have a good one about 10 days ago. I believe that the children of today face challenges that are different than we faced when we were growing up, and so much of that revolves around the cell phones that we all carry around and the technology that we have. But you can ask anyone, mental health is likely the number one issue facing today's children. And there are so many kids out there that, as they have gone back to school or will be going back to school, a teacher's going to look at it and say, what did you do this summer? And perhaps you had the opportunity to go to Disney. What did you do this summer? Perhaps you got to go to the beach. But then they'll get to the third child, and the third child didn't get to do anything. The third child had to sit at home all summer because of circumstances well beyond their control. We want to find those kids. We want to find those kids, and we want to pick them up. And so on July 30th, we rented the Kentucky Castle in Versailles. And we took 30 young girls that had gone through our Kosair Kids Financial Assistance Program and made them princesses for them. They each were decked out in princess dresses. They showed up at the castle. The University of Kentucky dance team came in and applied makeup and nail polish, fixed their hair. They got to meet Belle and the various Disney princesses and had a princess too. One girl looked at her mom as they were leaving and said, "Mom, can we turn back the clock and start this day over?" That's precious. And that is the Kosair for Kids movement, and that's what it's taken for it. Help us find those kids. This fall, through a wonderful partnership we have with a company called Feeling, we're going to do a Kosair Kids experience at the Outline Farms in Shelby County. 600 children are going to come out and experience a fall festival type atmosphere. Earlier this year, we took 3 children, 2 of whom have Down syndrome, 1 spina bifida. We took them to a major league ballpark where they got to root on the University of Louisville Cardinals in a baseball game and throw out the first pitch. And little Henry, who's been in a wheelchair his entire life, as he wheeled himself out to throw out that first pitch and wave at the crowd, he threw what's in my book, a strike right down the middle. But Henry told me afterward, "Barry, I'm never going to wash my hands. I got too many high fives today." Folks, that's the power of Kosair for Kids. That's the power of our movement. And so as we've engaged in this new branding, as we've taken on this new name, what are we going to do into the future? You know, Matt